Tax. Thanks, Jared. That's awesome. We were searching for the angel of history, Angelus Novus. We thought we might find it in a petri dish or in the mirror. Once we painted wings onto a cardboard box and set it outside to collect rainwater, placing the sample on a slide and examining the resulting bacteria culture under our microscopes. What would it look like? After his first big solo exhibition, the painter Paul Klee thought the angel of history would bear a grin and mischievous side eyes. After he smoked enough opium and walked close enough to touch the French-Spanish border, the philosopher Walter Benjamin thought the angel of history would bear a grimace and would guard the scrap heap of scholarship on war. What would it look like? After he got in trouble with school administration for hitting a boy, the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein thought he might build an angel of history out of glass and metal. We thought we might find the angel of history in images, microscopy slides, photographs. We searched for the angel of history in the teeth of a Lublin boy. We searched in splintered Warsaw pavement. We searched along prokaryotic cell membranes. We searched along the dank floors of moldering fruit baskets gathered at the closing bell. Call us Clara, or Scrap Guardian, or Outside. Our mother is sleeping in a fluorescent bed. Our heart is a sheaf of papers, and we're hollowed, covered in text. We're walking wingless along a toll bridge. We're reading very closely. We're Marco Polo and Genghis Khan conversing sweetly in the city's walled garden. We're on an airplane. We're profiling suspects. This is not a quest. The clouds are thinning here. Do you see it? Do you see it? There. A sliver of something. Grass. Dominic pushes me from his pleather couch before sunrise. Clara, he says. Coffee. I pull the husks of contact lenses from my eyes. Dominic doesn't speak English. I don't speak German. Caffeine is our common currency. Couchsurfing.com should write that on their masthead. Dominic's apartment is littered with wax sculptures and prints of the American meatpacking industry. Cows with split bellies, human skeletons with chicken beaks in their teeth. In our few and broken conversations, I've discerned that Dominic works as a freelance graffiti artist. His specialty canvases are abandoned warehouses. His apartment smells like turpentine. My train leaves within the hour. I gather my new books and squeeze them into my duffel. If railway tracks are a city's veins, bookshops must be a city's arteries. In Graz, I found 2 collections of short stories and a volume of haiku. I'll send the haiku to Yakov. Someday I'll learn German, or learn about Graz. Things I know about Graz. It's the capital of Styria. It's packed with students and canines. It's a UNESCO site. I am in transit. In 3 days, I've barely touched the city. I ran my finger along a spray-painted Dalmatian by the riverfront. Dominic's skateboard grated at the railing of a nearby bridge. My fingertip is still gray. I carry the memory of touch, I think. Transit. The memory of touch. I think. Ah. Angelus Novus 1. When photography was first invented, the time of exposure stretched to fill a morning and an afternoon. The light refracted from the floorboards, and Angelus Novus walked across the foyer, captured as a blurred streak, a trace of white against the window pane. On the train from Graz to Vienna, all of the passengers, including me, are marveling at the Alps. I've only ever seen art, never the foliage prisms, the minerals touched by water, the encasements, the jetting. Zauberberg, Semmering, even the names of the towns are lyrical. I trace the snow-capped peaks and shadowed troughs through the window. The mountain range cascades into the distance, like it's dunked in honey. What was it Celan said about light and mountains, the Alps in summer? A child is sighing, or an old woman. For no reason, I think of Aeneas's golden bough, presenting the gilded branch to Charon, crossing the Stygian River, entering the underworld. I'm traveling to Vienna. That's where the philosopher Ludwig Wittgenstein designed a house, Haus Wittgenstein, for his sister. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm just gonna scroll through a couple of the remaining Angelus Novuses and do maybe one more tiny scene. Okay. Angelus Novus number 2. Philosophers were always building houses. Angelus Novus tired of sleeping in them, of settling at the sill and waiting. Lady in Waiting. Bernard painted by a north-facing window. Kaya boat anchored perspective in the flesh. Wittgenstein allowed the movement of a window to speak against the hand, Metal and glass, alloy and bared stone, Spear built a new world order in the city that would be. Angelus Novus forgot to adorn her flesh for the blueprints. She forgot her backpack for the Krepieki forest. She swung from a cantilever. Angelus Novus 3. A pair of glazed double doors separates the hall and the living room of the philosopher's sister's house. For many years, the house was empty. The earliest windows were made of bone. She passes through from outside and to outside in the form of light, filtering through in exacted proportions. They were extracted from the marrow. In this way, she has always been diffuse, witness to the deserted hollows and to the developing outside. The currency inflated and deflated. She understood, also being subject to principles of uncertainty. Art was pushed into museums and then pushed into other museums. Glittered parades hailed the new era of labor and then the other new era of labor. She adorned the dust that gathered on the silk lampshades. She had no wings, but enjoyed navigating the flat surfaces of moving materials, the arrangement of atoms in the glass windows, braided. This was how she passed the time until eviction, when the blinds were drawn by diplomats. Museum of Atrocity. I visited the Museum of Atrocity today. It wasn't far from Park Alley, a small detour at the edge of Vienna. It's navigable. The guides are dancers with lithe or exorbitant bodies, and they wear leotards. They take turns guarding the outside of the museum, pirouetting, twirling ribbons, and gliding at each other. The building is constructed of red alloy. You enter the museum and a guide, smiling widely, adorns you with a wig. Every wig has a color, a number, and a name. The guide calls you by the name. Mine was Camera Obscura. "Come along now, Camera Obscura," my guide said. You navigate the museum by traveling from the outside in. The atrocity escalates and escalates. At each exhibit, you're given an ornament. False eyelashes, lipstick, gold coins, a headdress, wings, coal, glitter, perfume, a vase of flowers, a wreath, a girdle, a prosthetic nose, stockings, a halo, a moldering apple, a rosary, a hanging rack, a leather jacket, breast implants, a feather boa, a set of keys, an empty notebook, a spool of thread, a microphone, a knife. In the basement of the museum is the exhibition of murderers' dreamscapes. Your guide leaves you to watch them on a big screen. I watched 2 Fritz Saugels. He designs a city of tongues and teeth. He plays a violin on a ship bound for a leper colony. When you finish your entertainment, you pass through a hall of hanging bodies, and you're given a sleeping pill and guided through a hall of mirrors. You have to see the exhibition for yourself. By the time you get there, they'll have installed the bird cages. Thanks.
All right.